Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Thursday night. We're almost into Friday. Going to talk about how I believe there's a big distraction going on that just is really out of control right now. I'll mention that. Also, I'm hearing more and more from you out there about food shortages. Okay. I haven't mentioned that in a while, but I have not thought, I haven't been thinking that's an issue, but I'm starting to hear more and more about it. We'll explore that. And you need to keep your pantry stocked. And we need to really look at that. I think it's super important. I think, well, I'll go into that too. And I have a very good verse to share that is awesome. But first, it's just a thought that runs through my head today. But it's just little clips that I see, little videos. The man that occupies the Oval Office these days. It's just difficult. It is so difficult to believe that that guy is in charge and that he's in charge of the nuclear football. Now, the nuclear football, if you don't know, is a bag or suitcase. Usually, if you see the president walking around or whatever, or wherever he is, not far away, there is a military officer that is carrying a briefcase or a bag or suit, whatever you want to call it, that contains, or supposedly contains, the nuclear codes that would enable the president of the time to authorize a launch. Okay, it's a very powerful tool, to say the least. But it's hard to believe that he's in charge of that. I mean, I have to believe that's not the case. I have to believe that there's somebody else really in charge, and that this guy, they're just walking him out there, reeling him back in, walking him out there, helping him off the stage. I mean, it's awful. It's sad. It's awful on multiple levels. It really is. It really is. That's just my random thought for the day. I have it more than one day. It's often. Also, the submarine thing. Is it just a big distraction? Whenever I see something that's so massively covered by the media, I'm trying to think of the right words to convey this, but by just this wall to wall coverage, every media uh, entity out there is just inundating you with this stuff, and it makes me and my senses go up. Like, okay, but what are you distracting the people from now, or what's going on right at the same time that people are not paying attention to? That's, I don't know. Maybe I'm being overly paranoid. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. Hearing from more of you more frequently about food shortages that people are noticing. This is just various places in the country, from Texas to California to Illinois, that you're seeing shelves that are lighter, that are empty, including prescription drugs as well, that are a problem right now. Things are back ordered. That's an issue, I know. But I'm hearing from many of you that it's also an issue with just your grocery store items, on the shelf. The shelves look lower than they have been. Now, I haven't really noticed that so much where we are. Maybe I just haven't been tuned into it, but Miss Dog and I shop together, but we are going to pay more attention to that uh, the next few days when we go out and grab stuff. But what are you seeing in your area? Are you seeing this issue, where you live? Are you noticing it more and more here recently? I did see a story about, it was just in the last day or so, about a large food bank organization in South Florida. I forget the name of it, but they are struggling mightily, more than they ever have been, as far as keeping enough uh, boxes of food to hand out people that really need it. And it was interviewing some of the people who are coming in to get the food, who are needing it, families. And some of them are saying, I've never had to do this before. I'm so strapped with inflation, the rising food costs and energy costs and insurance and you name it, that we are just strapped down, and we need help from some angle, from somewhere. And we are using this. Thankfully, it's here, and they're getting boxes of food and trying to make it last through the week, make ends meet. And, and these are people with vehicles that are working and just trying to make the ends meet, just trying to get by, keep their head above the water. But this food bank said that they are struggling like never before. And they were just, saying they need donations. They're saying that churches do donate. That they did mention Publix grocery store as a big donation source. That's good to hear. But they were inviting people, citizens, just private citizens, or other groups, organizations, to help to help stock them up. I'm thinking that's the case in a lot of places. We just may not hear about it all the time. But share what you're seeing out there as well, if you're hearing this similar from where you live. But yeah, inflation, like this lady said, inflation is crushing people, and it's not letting up. It doesn't look like it's going to subside anytime soon. From what we're hearing, there will be another interest rate hike next month, and probably a couple of more by the end of the year. It's not going to help as far as the economy. They're trying to slow this inflation, but so far it really hasn't done much to help. So I don't think that's going to get better anytime soon. Which leads me into my next thing. Really double down on preps. We have, like, as I've been talking about the last few days and the last week, and you hear it on other channels, but we are, there are many threats that could come out of left field, slap us upside the face one morning, when we kind of expect. We've all been saying that we feel like something big is coming, and we just don't know exactly when and what. It's just gives you some peace of mind to make sure you are stocked up. That pantry is stocked up and it's rotated and up to date. I brought some props this time, some things that we are stocked up and we keep a stock of. Vary it. Non-perishables or canned food preservation. We have things that is frozen too, and dehydrated and all that kind of stuff. But even make it a practice, if you don't already. I know many of you do, but try to get on your grocery store trips or on your adventures out there, grab more than one. Grab 3 to 5 extra cans. 2 is 1, and 1 is none in our book. That's the prepper thing. If you just have one of them, you might as well say you have none. So the more you have, not saying clear out a shelf. We're not hoarders. That's a big difference. But, things like good old Spam. I know somebody's going to say, Spam, you shouldn't be eating that. Good old turkey Spam. It's not like we eat this every day, in moderation. It's a good stock. It has a good date. I think this particular, we bought this a while back. It's still good till late 25 at least. Again, grab 3 to 5 extra, canned items, canned veggies, canned meat. This stuff right here, now, this is fairly, I don't have the price memorized, but we get this at Aldi. Good old Deutsch sauerkraut. I know it's not for everybody, but it stores well. It's, this one, we bought this a while back. It's still good through late 2025 at the very least. And it's pretty economical. We got this, like I said, at Aldi. Another place we get, things we get at Aldi is the good old chicken breast, canned chicken. There may be some slightly cheaper sources, but they're still pretty competitively priced when you compare it to even Walmart and a lot of other stores. So now it may not and I don't know about like Costco and all. They may, if you buy it in bulk, you can probably get a better price. But we have a very good stock of this, and it has a good expert. They last a good shelf life, very long shelf life typically. And if they're kept in a fairly cool, dry place, and they're it'll go well beyond. It'll still be good well beyond that uh, printed expiration date. So keep that in mind as well. But keep, when you go out, if you can, I know inflation is a killer, but grab a few extra. you know. All right, I have an excellent verse from the devotion book. This is from Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9. It says, "For by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not your own doing. It is the gift of God, not a result of your works, so that no one may boast." This is freely given. This is grace. And it talks about the song, "Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, now I see." And then the little prayer down at the bottom says, "Thank you, God, that your amazing grace is freely given and does not depend upon me." That's key. So, with that in mind, I hope that's helpful. Grace, it is free, is freely given. We just have to accept it and keep the faith and keep praying. Okay? Share your thoughts. Let's be safe out there. Be aware. God bless you. I'll see you soon.